Howdy pessoal, my name is André and welcome back to Against the Storm. This is my third attempt at starting this video because I spent too much time talking about what I did between the last video that you saw of this game, which was the when I got the bronze seal, and today. To put it very shortly, I did a full run as a pioneer on a pioneer difficulty alone without recording, and I got completely hooked into the game, and I did that so that I can improve my my way around the game, and that's basically it. So let's go, and I'm gonna do another run. My purpose is to reach this lead seal or this lead seal here, but I want to go through these question marks, and I have two choices. I can either go through here, grab this, but I don't like this one here, or yeah, you know what, let's go. So basically this is a haunted forest. Sometimes viceroys condemn their people to a terrible fate. Dangerous and forbidden glade warnings are disabled. I don't know exactly what this means, but I think it's going to be... It's not going to tell me the difference between a dangerous and a forbidden glade, which means that I might step into a forbidden glade without, noticing. Well, not noticing, but without previously knowing that. Let's go. This is 4211-2, 4211-2. So it's the same thing. The difference is that this one takes me to this direction. This one takes me to that direction. So I'm going to go here. Royal Woodlands or Marshlands. Let's go here. Foxes and lizards. A lot of things. What do we have here? The Queen's Forest were wanted. 40 average amount. The ground is fertile and soft, which makes it perfect for farming. I get... Okay, and that is... Woodlands are very lush and rich in timber. Trees give more wood. Trees give more wood. Good. And I get eggs from wood, and I get... Okay. Seems interesting. Foxes are very good. I'll give them that. 4, 6, or 6. And I get 5 amber. So 20 biscuits, meat. So I get 20, 40, 60 food. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this. And let's see how it goes. Plus 2 more villagers. Plus 3 villagers from that. So I'm gonna get 4, 6, 8. Plus 3, 11. So I'm gonna get 11 villagers at the start of the game, which seems interesting. We get meat and eggs through the map. I always like to take clay because that allows me to make bricks. I get 1 more point, so it's either egg. Let's go with eggs. Since the map has eggs, I'm gonna go with eggs. And I'm not gonna think too much about it. Yeah. Let's go. And let's see how it goes. This option makes it harder to win, but also give back. Okay, so what do we get here? The astonishing, beautiful view motivates villagers to work. The time interval between breaks is increased by 25%. So they break work. So they work 25% more time, which is good. That red sticky substances goes in. Gain 2 resin every time a woodcutter is cut down. Wow, this I like because this is going to make resin like super abundant. Very good. The usual -4. Housing. I always have housing, so this should not be a problem. What's that? Due to this region's location, the crown requires you to pay 5 amber with each storm, multiplied by the number of years played. If you don't, you'll get 1 impatience. That is going to be expensive. That's new. Housing and services. That is a problem. I don't think I've ever reached level 4 hostility, so we might not get there, but I need to be very careful. Okay. Hola. Okay, so I can assume that smaller ones mean normal glades, bigger ones mean either dangerous or forbidden. Now, I haven't seen... I've played this game for... Well, I've made a few settlements, not a lot, but a few. And I've never seen a forbidden one really close to our initial start. So I'm going to assume that this, that, they're all dangerous. None of them are forbidden. But let's see how it goes. Okay, we get humans. Beautiful. I don't like harpies, and especially if we have a modifier, a bad modifier, that means that harpies were going to be a bad thing. Okay, let's do the thing that I usually do. I like to surround... I always like to surround this building, or these buildings. Okay, now I want to chop this tree so that I can have it. Okay, I want to open this one and also this one here. So let's do woodcutters there and also there. Okay. Now, I also need to... You know what? Let's make a pathing between these two, so it's faster. I also want to collect meat. Let's do that already. And we also need housing. Oh, we have clay. Okay. We also need housing. Might as well do that. We have 11 people, so 4 shelters. One, two. There you go. I also need a park so that I... Oh, I think I upgraded my... I got... Where's the park? Anyway. I got an upgrade here. So I should be able to reach this level here. Beautiful. That's very good. There are 3 levels. Okay. First one needs that. What's the second? Okay, it doesn't tell me what I need to achieve the second one. But I think it's only going to be revealed once I achieve the first one. The second one says... Global production speed is increased by 10% and global resolve is increased by 1. Very good. The ancient hearth's resistance to corruption is increased by 150. Okay. I do have corruption, but I don't have a way to fight it, so I don't use it. Let me do this, by the way. Coal 2, timber 1. So I'm gonna let them do that. We should be fine. Okay, let's set people. We have... Oh, beautiful. Now, by the way, so I'm going to explain a few things. Just, you know, you probably already know this, but each species has perks, right? I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I might... No, let's do... Do I want 2 of them here? No, because I'm going to need them. Each species has perks, and I didn't know that. For instance, this guy... If you place a human at hearth, impatience grows 25% slower, which is very good. So if I go here now, it says... Queen's impatience is growing at 0.22 per minute. Okay? Okay, fair enough. Now, we have an abundance of timber. If we go for the lizard, it says, okay, this worker gets 5% plus 5 to their resolve, which is good. And we also get a +1 to global resolve, which is also very good. Now, we are currently in a situation where we don't need to have a high resolve. If you go to the foxes, they say that hostility from open glades is lowered by 3 each. So if you go here, it says, okay, I can't put the mouse because the thing disappears, but it says small glades something times 8, which means that for each small glade you open, you get an 8 multiplier to the hostility. So it's 1 plus 1 times 8, 2 times 8, so and so forth. And for the dangerous or forbidden glades, you get that to a 15. If you place a fox in the ancient hearth, that means that instead of 8 and 15, you're going to get a 5 and a 12. Which makes some difference if you open a lot of them. So you need to kind of keep that in mind. Now, I don't really need the global resolve. Well, the Queen's Impatience is not too high. I'm going to let it stay. But for instance, I did a run where I actually lost, but the Queen's Impatience was double this. It was at 0.44 per minute. I don't know why. I think it was a modifier. Oh, and if you go... I'm going to show you something. So, I'm going to let them build. And each species has a way of working. And foxes benefit... You see they are glowing blue? And you see the green people icon there? That means that foxes are actually gaining a buff because they're working together. So if you set up 3 or more, I don't know if 3 is just what you need, but at least 3. If you've set up 3 foxes to work in the same building, they get a buff. And the buff is they get a +5 to their resolve. Okay, so for instance, in this case, we have 7 foxes, of which 6 of them should have a buff. It doesn't say fire. Oh, the firekeeper bonus gives 1 resolve. Comfortable. See that? Resolve effect affected 6. So average bonus +4. That's a +5. So that's basically it. I don't know exactly what the +5 to resolve means. That's why I have... So if you have beavers, which we're not going to have on this run, if you have beavers as a woodcutter, they have a 10% chance to double their yield, or an increased 10% chance to double their yield. If you have foxes, they gain 5% their resolve. That's basically it. Also, foxes are very good at events because they are faster, like 5% faster. Gain 1 villager every time you discover a new glade. An artifact... Oh, this one is beautiful. An artifact infused with the power of the Holy Flame. Hostility from woodcutters decreased by 6. I'm going to tell you why this is great. Gain 20 reed and 20 clay for each discovered glade. Probably the hostility is better. So, woodcutters have, for each woodcutter, each individual woodcutter, you get a multiplier of 12. So in this case, I have a 72 penalty to hostility because of woodcutting. That's it. If I get this flame amulets, that means that I'm gonna chop down that to half. So instead of 72, it's gonna be 36. Now, at the moment, those 36 might mean very little, but at the same time, it is actually very good. But at the same time, I'm looking at the exploration contract, and I have a tendency to open a lot of glades. So getting 20 clay and 20 reed for each one that I open might be very interesting. Yeah. I don't know, guys. But also, each settlement only has limited number of corners. Okay. At the same time, I'm very tempted to re-roll this, but it can be very bad because I'm interested in one of these two. And I don't know exactly which one. Let's go with that. It's a permanent thing. Well, they're all permanent, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's make that happen, please. Okay, I'm also going to need a crude workstation. You know what? Let me check the blueprints. If I get a... Oof, that's it. Now, why do I like the lumber mill? Planks is something that you're going to build throughout the entire game. Having the ability to build planks super fast is like a superpower. Let me just give you a quick... So, let me do that. Okay. A crude workstation makes planks for each 8 wood, which means that they need to carry 8 wood. Each villager can carry 5 items at a time, so they need to do 2 trips to carry the items. Gives them 2 planks. So 8 wood, 2 planks. Good? Good. If you go to this one, lumber mill, 3 wood gives you 2 planks. So it's less than half. So the other one was 8, half would be 4, and this is 3, which means that they only do 1 trip. They probably carry 5, because I don't think they can carry like 2 or 3, unless it's like I don't know. They carry whatever they need to carry, and they immediately get 2 planks. This is beautiful. And you can make that. I don't have any dye. I don't know if we have... Okay, we don't have any dye. I thought we could actually... Oh, you need... you need dye to make that. And you need dye to make that. So it's only for the planks. And now I'm... At the same time, I'm looking at it and going... Do I really want that? Because at the same time... having jerky being made, because we do have access to meat. See that? To have the ability to make jerky right from the start. Who gets it? Who gets jerky bonus? Lizards, and that's it. They can all consume jerky. So, however, if I go here, I can double my meat, which is pretty decent, to be honest. Who can eat skewers? Okay, we can have both skewers and jerky. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. So I'm gonna go back because I am hopeful that out of the 3 blueprints that I'm gonna have available, one of them is gonna be a lumber. One of them is gonna be something like a lumber mill. Now, I don't need to do it at the moment. And I'm not going to choose at the moment. Let's move it. So we have 3 people available. Which I'm not going to assign to anything for the time being. Next. One thing that I also learned is kind of try to pick up the easy ones. Or the ones that give you the most buffs. That's what I want. For instance, this one gives me a small farm. All I have to do is have 6 humans, which will happen. So if I have 6 humans, I'm going to get 20 grain. I'll also get a +1 to grain production and also a small farm. Now, what does grain do? Okay. Grain allows me to make... We can make meat out of... Oh, okay, that's a new one. I can make... This is a new building I unlocked. We can make meat out of grain if we get our hands on a wrench. Oh, that I want. Okay, that's a... So, porridge... By the way, porridge is like a superfood, to be honest. Well, it's like jerky, to be honest, in this case, because you get out of 5 something, in this case 5 grain, so you get 5 food or 5 items. You mix that with drizzle water, which you get from free from the rain, and you turn that into 10 porridge, so you're doubling the amount. This one takes 8, but okay. Wow, a beanery is even better. Only 4. Yeah, so as you can see, grain is actually super useful. So I'm going to take that. So I want a +1 to a grain and also the small farm. Now, I might be getting a small farm eventually. But I'd rather have that. Although the 15 amber... Well, this is going to do something which is... It's going to take a while until I can actually make 3 trade routes. So it's easier to get this one. Same thing. That one is very good. Create. A simple path doesn't cost any resource. Grants. So make 35 paths. And that's... I don't care about that. Because this is on roads. Path is not a road, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's go with this. So, I'm not going to take advantage of any of this except the stones. So, let's go with this. Make 3 rounds, gain that. Beautiful. What's that? Liz's Resolve 13. I want that. Okay. One of the things that makes me win the game is actually the ability to use tools, not use tools, to have tools, basically. So I get usually what I do, the way I win games at the moment is I open a lot of glades, and then each glade has something that you can then resolve, and that gives you, or you can fix or whatever, and that gives you resolve, which is what you want. Not resolve, what do I want? Reputation. So you make something, then you use you have caches, you use tools to deal with the caches, and that gives you reputation. So if I get a source of tools somehow, it's usually like the game has already been won. It's just a matter of time until you do that. That's basically it. That's my current perspective as a pioneer difficulty. Obviously, if you increase that, it might not be that simple, but for now it is. So let's do that. I want to pick this. Pick. That reminds me that I need a trading post. We can put this anywhere we want. Let's do... I don't care. I'm gonna put it in a way that's kind of not great, so that I can move it eventually. Move it. Yeah. Oh, let's do that. Let them finish that. So we're going to need trade routes. Okay, we're also going to have. Okay, let's set this up. So I like to have. So in this case, I don't have a building to give me planks, but I like to set this as an even number, because that way you always get a little bit more than that. If you set a 4, you might get 6. You might get 4, but you also might get 6, because if you have 2 or 3 and 2 of them are working on planks, they're going to give you 4 planks. If you set as a 5, you probably should get like a 6 or something like that. Maybe my math is wrong, but it's my perspective. Fabric, also 5. Bricks, 5. And we don't need pipes because we're not using that. Let's put 1 human there. This one, let's also add another human. And what I want is that. Let's put eggs. And I won't have... This one I want a higher amount. This is what what trading will, this is what makes trading happen. So let's make that happen. Okay. I usually end after a certain year, I do so many routes or trades that I get super rich. But now that I'm recording this and putting on YouTube, that's not going to happen. Okay. Okay, chop, chop, chop. I like to then move them. I like to move them like as close as possible to their spot. Those two tiles might make a difference along the way. I don't know. Okay, there you are. Build, 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 build. So, food-wise, is this one where I can't do the thing? Oh no, this is where I don't know what's what. Okay, got it. Not a problem. Okay. Okay, we still have 5. Okay, 2 people that are not housed. How are we with wood, by the way? 61 and 5 planks. Okay. One thing that I realized is that you don't want to step into a glade, either dangerous, forbidden. It's even worse, but you don't want to step into a glade without having at least a good amount of planks, because some glade events require you to use planks, like 12 planks to resolve them. And if you do what I did, which is got to a glade like super early on, I didn't even had a plank manufacturing system, that just makes you go, uh-oh, that's not good. So yeah, and I died. I think there's that's one of the I did that 2 times, like go into a glade without even having things established, because I thought the first glade that you discover is kind of easy on you, and then you end up in a very bad situation, so be careful. I did that because I followed a YouTuber's guideline, so don't do that. Okay, you are now at level 1. Oh, beautiful. So for level 2, we're going to need 8 comfort decorations, so 2 parks, and then 4 aesthetic decorations, which is this garden. So 2 parks and a garden counts as 4 decorations. See that? 2 parks and a garden. Beautiful. And have 14 villagers housed. That's like a given. Okay. Finish that. So you are now making fabric. Because you have reached... You know what? Let's do 10 planks. Focus on that first. Bricks probably next, but okay. And as you can see, I already have both human and lizard houses, and I didn't get them. That's from the bonuses of playing the game. So when you see guys playing at prestige levels, they already start with a lot of blueprints, and you or myself don't. So that's a big difference. Okay, that is done. Okay, we are with 5 planks, and okay, I'm going to step into one of I'm going to step into this glade, because this one seems to be a little bit bigger than that. And as you guys know, bigger is better, right? Well, maybe not. If you know what to do with it, probably not. Okay, I think I'm going to step into here. Okay, and let's see what it should not be a problem, because we are at hostility 24. I'm going to raise the hostility to 39, which means that it's going to stay at level 0. So it's not going to be an issue. There you go. What's this one? See that? 12. You can also use, okay, just that. Or that. Ha 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 ha. So I can, oh, I like this one. I'm going to tell you why. So I have already made this, well, up to a point, everything's the same, right? So what's this one here? Look at that. I'm going to do that. So converted rain totem. The ritual was completed, but a faint rhythmic thumping can still be heard coming from the totem. Decreases hostility by 50, which is counts as 4 decorations of its type. Can be moved for free. Harmony, correct? And we need aesthetics. Okay. So we open the glade, right? And I'm kind of bold in that regard, and that's why I basically lose sometimes, because I tend to open glades like whenever I can. So we can fix this by using resin. Now the downside is that the forest hostility is temporarily increased by 150 points, so we're going to get that. So we are currently with 39. It's going to be increased to 150 by 150, which means that's going to be up to 189. So it will be at level 1, which means that we're going to get a -4 to resolve on the storm, but and we're going to tick this one as well. However, since everybody's housed, we're not going to get the effect. So I can go and do this with that immediately. Okay, this is where our friend the fox gets into an amazing spot. So if I take 1 fox from here, so look at this. If I add, oh, I can't see, you can do that. So estimated time 4 minutes. If I add a human or a couple of humans, the time goes to 3 minutes. But if you add foxes, it goes to 238. So you buy 22 seconds out of the time. So it's 22 seconds with the hostility lowered. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna go there. Queen's impatience is 1.51. Oh, we're not gonna get any. Okay, that's the thing. Let's investigate it, and that's it. So we're now up to level 1. Oh, 83. Why 83? Wasn't supposed to be 189? Okay. Storm is coming. Brace yourselves. Okay, I'm going to take these guys. And I'm going to move them. Because I want to go up to here, right? Although... Here's what I want. If I add a small farm here, let me do a quick check. Where's my small farm? Oh, it's in an event. Oh, I need humans. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with planks. And we have... Do I have that? Trapper's camp. Do I have a trapper's camp? I don't. So I'm gonna go with lumber mill. We have no workers. Okay, our problem. Storm is coming. So we are at year 1 and at the end of the storm. Okay, this has, see that, 0 affected. Good. But this one is affecting everybody, so it's a bit of a situation. But these guys are going to make it happen, and we're going to get a hostility drop of 50, which is beautiful. You already made those. Mwah, beautiful. Ooh, and I already have one. Let's only show available. We have 23 meat. Not exactly what I want. I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend, thanks. I'm trying to see if it's going to be worth it to actually open another glade. Like this one here. Before picking up the blueprint. So I think I'm going to wait. And for instance, this glade alone here is going to give me... You can't see because my face is in front. See that? 1 reputation point here. And also 0.75. So this glade alone gives me 1.5 reputation. Okay? So that's how you beat the game, how you win the settlement, by growing your reputation up to 14, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 14. So each glade you open, if each glade you open gives you 1.75, 1.5, you can, if you open like 4 or 5 of those, you get like 8 reputation points from this alone, and then you get the rest from these things here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this only gives you 11. So keep that in mind. So the end is near. We're going to get that. We also have eggs here, which... Eggs and that require Trapper's Camp, but this does not. Okay, I can use that. I'm also using it here. So that's going to be something. We're going to get more people at the end of this year, by the way. Here we go. Time to stop. Okay, guys, it's been 36 minutes. Usually the first year is all... The video of the first year is also always longer, a little bit longer. And the reason for that is very simple. It usually takes me a bit of time to choose things. So here's my intention. We're going to go through the cornerstone and also from the newcomers. I'm going to get newcomers. I'm going to get new people and then choose a cornerstone on the next video. And then I'm going to open this one here. Because this one is already done, or it should be done. Very 2, 1, done. Hostility is at -10. Great. So we have another thing here. That's a lot. That's a bad business, by the way. 11 planks. I'm going to do that if I have, if I choose the blueprint of the 3-star planks. Because that way I can make them super easy. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave the game here. Next, I'm going to go into this one, and I'm also already keeping an eye for this one and also that one here. Eventually, I'm going to go across Forbidden one. I only went to 1 Forbidden Glade. And it didn't do bad. I didn't do bad. I was actually kind of okay-ish. But I think Forbidden Glades are a bit further away. They're not immediately available close to your settlement. But there's always a first. Guys, gotta go. Thank you much for watching. And as always, I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.